two screens up, so I'm going to try to look back and forth between the two. So I thought today I would teach seated forward fold. And what a great pose to teach, because as a yoga teacher, if I say I'm a yoga teacher, what is the first thing a person thinks to say to me? What do you think the first person a person says to me is? I can't even touch my toes. So, seated forward fold, we're going to be working on touching your toes. Hi, my name is Ashley. I am a yoga teacher, obviously. I've been doing yoga for over 20 years. I've been teaching for, 13 or so, off and on. I've also taught some other group exercises, classes, and I just love yoga. I think it's like such a great part of your fitness routine overall. Just that you really, in order to be fit, you really need to be flexible. You can be strong and you can have great cardio, but if you're not flexible, then you're likely to get hurt, right? Or like if you twist that ankle, then you're out, right? But if you are flexible, then just kind of a roll on the ankle might not be a big thing. For me, yoga has like greatly impacted. I think I haven't gotten hurt because I've done yoga. I've been running for a long time. I really love my running, and I have been able to keep it up without really having any injuries, knock on some wood, because I think I've been doing yoga. All right, so for seated forward fold, you don't need a mat really. I actually think I'm going to turn to the front so you can see my feet. So you want to have your legs out in front of you, right? You want to try to start to be seated upright so that the shoulders are over the hips. Now, some of us are so tight that we actually can't do that. We have to end up sitting back here. So if that's you, you're going to be bending your knees and you're going to try to get to this position. So if you're not sure, go ahead and take yourself next to a mirror and sit tall and look at where you are. So you want to be able to sit shoulders over hips, okay? So then we're going to take our legs and we're going to stick them straight out in front of us. We want to have our knees and our toes facing the sky. Again, if you're not paying attention and just hanging out, sometimes your toes fall to the side so that your feet are making kind of a V shape. Sometimes your toes go like this, and we really want to pay attention to what our legs are doing. Sometimes you'll hear teachers say, move that flesh and find your sit bones. I tend to just rock back and forth to find your sit bones. I don't think you have to move anything. I think you just have to feel yourself rooted into the ground. So I'm feeling my pelvis, both sides touching the floor. My knees are facing the sky, my toes are facing the sky. I like to start finding my straight spine. Again, shoulders over hips. So I'm already engaged, right? My belly is in, my back is tall, and I'm feeling like I'm working a little bit. And then you can reach your arms up alongside you just for length. So what I'm working on here is reminding myself, I want to be tall. I want to have the most space between all my vertebrae as I possibly can before I fold forward. You don't want to just fold forward and kind of crunch that back. You want to really have a lot of space first. So that reaching up with my hands helps me with that. And then I'm going to reach forward like I want to reach way beyond my toes. I'm going to imagine that my back doesn't bend. So I'm going to imagine that my spine is like a broomstick, and I'm going to try to fold forward in that direction rather than rounding over and trying to bring my nose to my knees. I'd rather reach the top of my head and reach my hands way beyond my feet. It doesn't matter if they actually do reach beyond my feet. I'm just setting that intention. So arms reach up, exhale, fold over those legs. Now, oftentimes in a beginner class, I'll see my students, really grab and like really pull, and it's not about pulling and making yourself get into that pose. It's about finding that edge right where you can feel the stretch, maybe going a little bit farther, and then surrendering into your body. So when you fight with your muscles, it just makes them tighter, right? It makes them clench up. And we're trying to stretch and elongate the muscles and let them relax. So I feel into my hamstrings in the back of my legs and my lower back. If I fight to pull myself deeper and really, I'm not allowing these muscles to relax, so it's going to be harder to get deeper in the pose. So here I go, folding forward. You can grab your feet if you're flexible enough. You can grab your legs. You don't have to grab it all and let your hands just relax beside you. So I still have my straight spine. If this is where I can go, this is where I can go, and I can just kind of soften here and let my upper back round if I want to. I don't have to go there if I don't want to. Again, my knees can be very bent, and I can still get a lovely stretch here. So it's up to you where you go. If you're feeling super tight and you really want to activate the back of the hamstrings, you can grab yourself a yoga strap or a tie, and you're going to reach beyond your feet, and you're going to put that on the bottom of your feet, and you're going to sit tall again, and then use your arms to pull yourself a little bit closer. This is a great way to really feel the stretch in the back of the legs without kind of going too deep in the back. I also like pulling with the arms so that you can go right to the edge and keep your back really straight. And then from here, I like to breathe. Of course, in yoga, we breathe through the nose, deep and long, inhale and exhale. And then sometimes we can inhale, become a little taller in the spine, and then exhale, come a little deeper in our stretch. So if you're watching this right now, if you could give me a thumbs up or a heart, if you're watching this after it's live, that's great too. A thumbs up or a heart would be great. Again, so forward fold. It's not about reaching and touching your toes at all. It's about elongating the back of the legs, finding some length in the lower back. This is a great fold for us. Those of us who spend a lot of time sitting in chairs, working at a desk, watching TV. I barely folded at all here in that I didn't stay in the pose for a long time. I do suggest that if you're working on the flexibility that you do stay in the pose for 5 deep breaths at least. And then maybe come out and rest for a moment and then try going back in. Of course, when you're doing something like this, you want to try to warm up first. So if you haven't, if you've just like come in from driving the car, don't just jam yourself into a forward fold. You really got to make sure that you have moved those muscles a little bit. Maybe a little walk is a good thing to get those muscles warm, or maybe you've done some other yoga. And then you come into the nice stretch to elongate those muscles a little bit. If you have any questions about forward fold or any other yoga pose, or you have a pose that you are really interested in but you're not sure how to do, go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll try to explain that pose next time. I hope this was helpful for you. Remember, it's not about touching your toes. It's about finding your edge and just really being where you are, right? So you don't have to be, yoga is not about being able to touch your toes immediately. When I started yoga, I totally could not touch my toes at all. And how did I get to touch my toes? I did a lot of yoga. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.